There's that article where Grace Jones said, and I don't know if this is real or not, and I disagree with her assessment here, where she says, I met Lady Gaga and I didn't feel like there was a soul. So I'm not feeling like they actually would want to be in the same room together. Like me and Gaga, we love Grace, Grace is just on her own.
Welcome back to Spin Magazine's Lip Service. I'm with Cole from Model Actriz. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great to see you. Thanks for coming in. We're just chatting about Bushwick and pizza and all kinds of stuff.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you guys just did 2 sold-out nights in Brooklyn. Amazing, right?
Yeah. I love it was at Warsaw. It's maybe one of my favorite venues, maybe my favorite venue.
Yeah, I played there with Courtney Love, and it was one of my favorite shows on the whole tour we did, and just people were going nuts. People let loose at that venue.
I would say it's still the same. Yeah, they're letting loose.
It's great. And I think Coachella was announced today, so congrats on that, or yesterday or something.
Yes, it's out now.
It's out.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I am excited. I think my feeling about any time you play a place more than once, like last weekend at Warsaw or playing 2 weekends at Coachella, it's like really chic to play the same place twice.
Definitely. Now, will you stay in California during that? I'm assuming most artists stay out there during that week. But do you fly back? What's the general game plan?
No, not flying back.
You'll stay there.
But we're figuring out what to do with our week.
I have to say, I mean, in all transparency, the last few years was not very rock heavy, and I love all kinds of music, but I also love rock and roll. That's really where I come from. So I'm excited to see a very diverse lineup, but also some great rock bands like Interpol, The Strokes, and then you have got Sabrina Carpenter and you guys and Eka Vandal and Turnstile. So it's a great line. It's the lineup that got me excited this year, where I haven't been excited in a couple of years. I think that's safe to say.
Well, I think Turnstile is a sure bet to like a show to turn up to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Tonight I'm seeing Eka Vandal. She's very cool. She's playing with you. She's really cool. But but a really cool lineup nonetheless. So it's exciting. You're having such a big moment and a big year, but the band's actually not new. And a lot of people associate the band with New York, but actually you're not even from here.
We formed in Boston. Yeah.
But by way of LA, right? Didn't the band start kind of in LA in a way?
I would say that's where I'd say we cut our teeth in both LA and Boston, but 2 of my bandmates are from LA. So pretty much immediately after we formed, we booked like a garage, kitchen, backyard, week-long tour. And that was kind of our first statement as a band.
I love that. And the name kind of came about, like someone else had the name. It was like a fictitious band that someone else, you kind of borrowed the name or something in a way?
It was like in a notes app, a list someone's notes. And I don't think he had any intention of starting a band, so we kind of snuck that out and, used it for ourselves.
He's like, if I ever start a band, but I never will, I'm just going to start a bunch of band names.
Yeah.
Have a list.
I have a list of like 70 cat names in my phone, and if I get to the end of the list, then, that would be remarkable having 70 different cats. But yeah, you never use all the names in your list.
Now, what were some of the other names you were kicking around at the time?
Well, this would be a question for Jack, and I am curious or afraid of even looking at what the other names would be. But I'm happy with Model Actriz.
Because they already had something going on. They had seen you play, right? But this is actually, I feel like this might be your first band, Cole, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, first, most likely only band.
And they just saw you perform somewhere, and they were like, hey, we need to get this guy in our group, right?
Yes, it's like, we've had a lot of discussions about it. I think we met at a house show. Yeah. And then there's some, dispute about whether it was actually at like a bar. But either way, it's all the same.
And tell me the kind of the origin of the band. They went to Berklee School of Music?
We all did.
Oh, you all did?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
It's funny because I went to
exclusive information for this podcast only.
Because many years ago, I went to this thing called MI in LA, and that was like the Los Angeles version of Berklee. But you didn't have to be as good. If you were going to Berklee, you had to be like a savant. Like you had to be so incredible because you can't really be a slacker and go to Berklee.
Well,
or could you?
I don't know how much I can say because I think the discourse around whether I can sing is kind of funny, but, that's what I did at Berklee. So I guess you could say still anybody can get into Berklee.
Well, but you were taking classes, you were taking vocal classes, whatnot. Yeah. And Jack and Ruben just had known each other since childhood? Was that so?
Yeah, they're dads. played in a band together in the 80s, not like one that made it out, but
Like a local
they were
band.
friends. So, like there was the seed formed maybe of starting this band very early on, and then they didn't see each other for like 10 years until they both went to Boston.
Now, was there like a local scene in Boston that you were inspired by or not? Because there's all kinds of bands playing at the time back then.
Yeah.
What was happening during the Berklee days for you there?
It was really avant-garde metal going on. At least that's like the scene that I discovered. And I feel I grew up in Delaware, where the scene in Delaware there was a really fun like coffee shop open mic thing that I was a part of, which is like the first time I ever played music that wasn't like in or from a musical. But if you weren't like playing reggae, you weren't getting the gig in Boston or in Delaware. So basically, when I found the complete opposite of that in Boston, I gravitated towards it.
And that because it was like, I don't know if you remember the bands. There was a band called Extreme. That was like a hard rock metal band that's from there. Aerosmith obviously is from there.
Right.
But
I lived not too far from like there's a plaque on a building that's like Aerosmith pissed on this wall or whatever, basically. Yeah.
it's a good plaque.
Yeah, yeah. They used to rehearse in the Berklee Performance Center.
Right.
Yeah.
And so did you guys take to that scene, or were you like, this is the I mean, we're going to do something like the opposite? Because initially I always heard this story about the band where like you wanted to create a band with no melody and no chords, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Which is a strange manifesto, but it just, what was the concept behind that?
I think it was almost like anti-music to begin with.
More theater?
Oh, always for me.
Yeah.
But my bandmates have like a flair for the theatrics that is maybe, you can tell once you're in the room with them, but they're not so forthcoming about it. We wanted to just have rules, and then over time we started breaking them. And I feel like it came out of maybe out of protest of maybe not feeling like the kind of music we wanted to make, or the people that we, saw as our heroes were the same ones that we were being, shown by our professors or, and yeah, wanted to kind of like throw away everything that we were being taught.
And aside from theater, because theater was a huge influence on you, I think Cats was something that you definitely
It's the best
loved.
musical of all time.
Yeah. So aside from Cats, what were you listening to musically growing up? What did your family listen to, your parents? Like, what did they turn you on to initially?
Janet Jackson. My mom, the Dixie Chicks. My dad was really into Rush.
So it's very eclectic.
Yes, but I mean, Rush is like, that's theater.
Yeah.
In, musical form, for
Yeah,
sure.
yes.
And then, what else were we listening to? No Doubt. So like, really idiosyncratic singers.
What was your first record that you bought? Do you remember?
Fergie's The Duchess.
It's an eclectic mix,
Yeah.
right? Janet Jackson, Rush,
Yeah.
and Cats.
And Cats, exactly. That's like, how if I was a Powerpuff Girl, those would be the three ingredients you threw into a pot and then I would come out. Yeah.
What was the first theater that you really got into early on, besides Cats, obviously? Was
Well, I guess my first role was Michael in Peter Pan. And for that, I was in second grade. They had, they called it a fly system, but really it was like a rope slung over a light. And then my dad was off stage hoisting me up. Yeah.
Seems kind of dangerous.
Yeah, he got a little bit like rope happy. So he was just kind of pulling me up. He made more cues maybe than were in the script, but
It's very Christopher Guest.
Yes. But as an 8-year-old, I loved it. Yeah.
You ever see Best in Show?
Yes.
My favorite.
Christopher Guest.
Brilliant.
Someone asked me a couple weeks ago, like, I'm not the biggest film buff.
Okay.
But they asked me, like, who is a director where you would go and see any movie of theirs if it came out in theaters? And Christopher Guest was my answer.
So talented. Well, I just saw the new Spinal Tap, which
I need to see it.
Leave the
Yeah.
original alone, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, when something's so great and then because I always say like there's like a Jaws 5.
Yes.
Why,
Right. Or Beetlejuice.
Right.
Do we need
just
another
stick
one?
with the original.
Yes.
So initially it was theater and this eclectic mix, and then the band gets together. And did you know right away, was there a chemistry with the other members at school and you just thought, this is it? I mean, they already had their own thing going on.
My bandmates?
Yeah, I mean, was there initially when you first start playing together, did you?
Yeah, I would say it was just the three of us, me, Jack, and Ruben, guitarist and drummer. And I have never come as prepared as I was than that first rehearsal where I like brought lyrics for the two songs that they started, which became the first two songs we put out, Pimp and Heavy Breather. And it meant that in that we like skipped a lot of the
Steps.
awkwardness for that first rehearsal at least. So then we left feeling like we could book a week-long tour of backyards and garages and kitchens, basically.
Were you listening to bands like Kraftwerk? Were you listening to LCD? Were there bands like that were influencing the sound early on? Or did you just think we want to almost create our own genre in a sense?
We were heavily influenced by Death Grips at that time.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you all just you shared this love and you're like, let's create our own thing. But this is sort of...
Yeah. And I think because I was coming from a theater background and this like form of, creating art was so unfamiliar to me, the only way I knew how to like enter into it, or my entry point into it, was playing a character. So MC Ride from Death Grips was kind of like the archetype that I was trying to meld into.
It's interesting because I think a lot of people associate you with being a New York City band, but do you feel like sometimes you get lumped into all these bands that are out of New York, Interpol and the Strokes, but yet you're sort of not from here, right?
We,
I mean, you moved here, I think, 2019, and then you added Aaron to the band, I believe, your bass player, right?
Yes, that was when he joined. We don't say we're from New York, but we say we live in New York.
Yeah.
But, just out of respect for all the bands that are, made from born and bred, New Yorkers. But before we came here, like, of the New York bands, I'd say, like, maybe Show Me the Body was, like, who we were aligned with. We played some shows, like, we did one at Sarah Lawrence in, like, 2017 with them. And then we did Asbury Lanes with them. Who else? Machine Girl. They lived here for a while. Yeah.
Because the band's been together for what, like 10 years now, more or less?
Yeah, 9.5, yeah.
Does it feel like all of a sudden there's all this traction, all these eyes on you? Like I said, Coachella is a big moment for any band. I mean, no matter how you look at it, like it or not, it's probably the biggest music festival in the world, right?
I would say so.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's got to be this incredible moment after 10 years. It's all, 2 nights sold out at Warsaw. It's pretty exciting, right? Because sometimes you think, you're around for 5 years, 6 years, and there's maybe traction, but not this kind of traction.
Yeah.
I think you just did, was it Kimmel or Fallon not long ago?
Colbert,
sorry.
Yes.
And great performance, right? So this is all culminating at the same time for you. So does it feel like a moment for you in time where you're like, this is what we've been working towards?
It's a great time to ask me that question because I had that moment this past weekend.
Yeah.
Because it was the first show that I got to do costume changes.
Amazing.
So, and it felt like I was waiting 9 years to put on a different shirt backstage and then walk back out.
How many, just 2 costume changes?
3.
3, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would say it's a moment.
Definitely.
Yeah. And that is the indicator.
Do you love playing the festivals? I think you did Primavera not long ago too.
Yeah. No, I love Primavera.
Yeah.
And was the question, do I love festivals?
Well, just versus like, those intimate shows. Like Warsaw's a fairly intimate venue, like people right in your face. And it's a bigger venue, but it's also, it's a great venue. You can feel the energy. People are
totally
body surfing and whatever. But I think versus the festival vibe, which is much bigger, you can barely see who you're looking at in the audience. But what do you prefer, the intimate shows or the bigger shows?
I think we can do both. I think, however, like my favorite festival sets are ones, it's like either at night where, the darkness makes the place feel smaller, or if we play in a tent.
Yeah.
We just did Down the Rabbit Hole in the Netherlands, and that was one of my favorite festivals. But partially because, the tent makes everyone feel like they're, in the sphere of the show.
Yeah, definitely. I love the fact that the name was sort of someone else's name, like you said, was on this list of cat names, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yet you're getting tagged in all these things now on Instagram or people that are models and actresses.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Just like,
yes.
Is it bizarre? I mean,
we'll get an email being like, a spam email from like Steven Meisel or something,
right, I'm doing a shoot.
and it's spelled wrong, and they'll be like, "We came across your Instagram model, actor, and we would like to offer you a campaign for Old Navy," and it's like,
and we'll pay
Steven
you in
Meisel's
shoes.
shooting it?
Yeah. We'll still do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So is that a plus? Does the name take on a different meaning now with the success of the band, or is it still like this name that really is? I mean, do you think about the name, or is it just one of those things that just made sense at the time you ran with it?
I feel like I didn't know the name. I didn't ask what the name of the band was until like we had to put our name on a poster, and I was just like, "What's the name of all this?"
Yeah.
And then Jack was like, "Model Actress," and I was like, "Okay, cool." But it always had an amorphous meaning to me. I mean, that's like what a model or an actor is. It's like water. You take the shape of the vessel that you're in.
That's
so
true.
I feel like for us, whatever room we play, we read it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I heard that Coldplay was an unlikely sort of influence on the band. Is that true?
Coldplay?
Yeah. I mean, the other
Not words from my mouth.
The other members had talked about it, which I thought was strange.
Yeah.
But the other members had talked about it in another interview. So a weird influence. But
I think Coldplay's cool.
yeah,
Yeah. But
I mean, I wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have said that either.
I wouldn't have said it either, but
interesting.
I know your other bandmates had said it, so I was just wondering, like, if it meant anything. Coldplay meant anything to you.
Yeah,
it's strange.
That must have been a Ruben solo interview. I wasn't there for it.
It could have been an older interview.
Yeah.
If you had to describe the sound of the band, if someone didn't know the band, I mean, what would you describe your music as? Would it be like dance music, guitar, drums, like?
I'd say it's club music.
Club music.
Yeah, club music without synthesizers.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And talk to me about, again, your love for theater, like just bringing back theatrics and Cats. And, what are some of the shows now that you go to see that you're inspired by musically that you think, I need to incorporate this? I just saw Gaga the other day, and I did a gig with her bandmates. So her band, we do a venue now, and her band played our venue.
Yes.
And it was one of the best shows I've seen. And I wouldn't say that I like listen to Gaga on a regular basis, but the show was incredible.
Yeah. I mean, she's... I'm afraid. Sorry, Madonna. She's the greatest of all time. Yeah. I mean, Madonna's, her own thing. But
did you go to any of the shows?
No.
No.
I was out of town or on the wait list.
Would that be like a perfect tour for you if you?
To open?
Yeah.
I mean, hard act to open for.
Yeah.
I think...
Although it could work. I could see it working.
That's the show I dream of playing,
right.
though.
Yeah.
Like, just when we saw her, come out looking like... it reminded me of from the Nutcracker. What is her name? With all of the children under her skirt. That must have been the inspiration for the, like... the birdcage, curtain, thing. But
because that's a theatrical show. I mean, that you watch that and it's like watching Broadway or something.
Yes, no, it's like, and it's the one. I don't like the song "Million Reasons," but the staging of that song in this show, where she's like Phantom of the Opera style, being like taken on a boat. I'm like, that's how the song.
Incredible.
They take away the piano, just get on the boat for a million reasons.
Would you say Gaga is like what kind of got you into music aside from the obvious Rush and Janet Jackson?
That was besides Fergie's The Duchess being the first album that I like asked for. When the Bad Romance music video came out.
Now, there's an interesting story. I don't know if it was yourself or one of the guys in your band, but like somebody wrote a letter, like kind of dissuading.
Yes.
Was it you to not?
It was actually to my friend Olivia at the time, who me and her were involved in separate churches, but someone that I knew from going to her church had written a letter of like 40 reasons to not go see Lady Gaga.
Because you grew up kind of conservatively? Was that like kind of how you grew up?
A conservative area for sure. I'd say, just to take my family out of it. They've always been very supportive of me, but definitely they couldn't protect me from everyone's opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, growing up. and one of them being I still went to the show, but Olivia got dissuaded.
What did the letter say? Like, if you go to the show, you're going to burn in hell or something?
Basically, by the end of it, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not so fire and brimstone,
Yeah.
but, maybe reason one was like, it's a waste of money. But then, by the end of it, it was essentially you're burning in hell. Yes.
And was there any point in time when you read that letter and you said, I'm going to just rebel because it feels like this is opposite of what...
Yeah, I mean, liking Lady Gaga at that time felt illegal.
Yeah.
Like, even without this letter.
What year was that? Like, what we're at?
This was 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't, Gaga wasn't popular where you're from, and it was just, again,
Yeah.
super conservative. What was popular growing up in your area was?
What was popular? I was going to, like, youth group conventions of Christian music.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of country. And this was, pre Casey Musgraves country.
Right,
so
right.
this is, a little tough. This is Toby Keith,
right,
centric.
But your
country.
family was yet fairly supportive of you doing music at the end of the day.
Oh yeah. They, they took me to play practice.
And now they're proud of you.
And yes, they have always been proud of me. Yes, but I love seeing, giving them material to put on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Talk to me about after a lot of the shows, I think you do karaoke, right? It feels like we were just talking about it.
Yes.
And you have this big gig coming up that we're going to kind of announce. It's like the exclusive, somewhat related to karaoke.
Yes.
Talk to me about it. We're breaking a story here today.
Well, every year, this is my camera. No, every year we do Chrismukkah show. Half of Model Actriz is Jewish.
Yeah.
And we every year before this, it's been about, like, in my mind, making like a staff party vibe. It's like end of the year, like hootenanny, where we play a set and then bring our friends on to open. Or close or whatever. Like, it's gone through many iterations. We did one in LA. This year, though, it's the 5th anniversary. And I wanted to switch it up and kind of maybe pass the baton in a way to say, like, thank you, or, here, have fun with the opportunity to do Model Actriz karaoke.
Now, Chrismukkah started at Gossip Girls. I wasn't aware of it, but...
Yeah, it was mentioned, yes.
And it's been like an annual thing ever since.
I think other people do Chrismukkah things. Yeah, a lot of blended families.
And then where's like, we can't talk about the venue yet, but it's happening towards the end of the year.
It's happening in New York.
The tri-state area.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like no one's going to shoot me if this comes out, but I can't say when or specifically.
And
where.
is it a mix of Christmas and Hanukkah songs? Is that what happens? Or is it like...
We did do Hava Nagila one year.
Okay.
But no, it's just like our set. But it's just the theme this year is karaoke. So come warmed up, prepared to sing.
Now, you apparently love like karaoke with Celine Dion, unless I'm mistaken.
I did that at specifically that song it was like a Renaissance fair where Primavera was doing a weekender, but they like rented out this whole medieval times type place.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. We played in the jousting arena.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So is that your go-to? If you had to pick like a go-to, like Celine Dion's normally like your go-to?
My go-to is Be Our Guest from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And when you're on tour, is that something that you just do to kind of, like after hours, is that sort of your go-to activity?
I feel like even if the room is empty, karaoke is always fun.
Yeah, I agree.
And honestly, if the room is full, karaoke is less fun because then you can't sing as much.
Definitely. Well, let's talk about the sophomore album. Pirouette came out earlier this year. Just tell me about the record. Let's kind of dive into it.
Okay.
Kind of what some of the songs mean to you and some of the meanings behind Cinderella and some of the songs on the record.
Yeah. You just want me to...
Yeah, well, let's talk about Cinderella.
Yeah, Cinderella.
Just the meaning. I love the meanings behind some of the songs. So.
Yeah, that song was really about me, I think, coming to terms and finally accepting my own gayness and femininity through being on a date with someone who was so comfortable with themselves. And the Cinderella became the like the symbol that like felt most like applicable to this song because of a birthday party that I remember like floating the idea when I was like 5 to my mother on the phone. And then I remember in that moment thinking about how I wanted to enter the party in the dress like Cinderella. You know, I was imagining like descending from upstairs to the living room to all of, you know, the people I knew at the time. And I became, you know, shortly after that, like embarrassed of the idea, not because of like me not wanting to do it or deciding against it, but because I was imagining what other people would think, because I wasn't seeing boys in dresses, or, you know, my mother and father were like supportive of the idea, but they just like couldn't. This was not a conversation after that between us, but I like privately decided that I didn't want to do it because I was afraid of being laughed at. And that was just kind of like a pain that I, you know, did just kind of like buried down and kind of exploded out of me in the studio, being like, there's this hole in the second verse of the song, and I feel like I'm avoiding the truth that needs to come out in this moment. So I just wrote it down and like pretty, just like not even thinking about rhyming, you know, it just like exploded out of me because I needed to like free myself of that pain.
Is it cathartic to be able to speak about this and be very vulnerable lyrically, like on this new record for you?
Yeah, and that, I mean, there are a lot of moments where it just feels like kind of like explosive confessions. And those are more often than not the lyrics that are getting sung back to me. The ones that I felt almost crazy recording, because I was like, I don't know if anyone will relate to this hyper-specific memory for me, but it feels necessary for it to come out, that I'm just really like humbled that people are identifying with it, and then also like very much so healed every show when we can all scream those things.
It's got to be gratifying too when you hear the lyrics sung back to you after thinking, no one's going to relate to these lyrics, but yet there's 500 people or 1,000 or 10,000 singing them back to you.
I think I had forgotten in the moment, just out of being a little bit maybe uncomfortable with what I need, with revealing so much about myself, that those kinds of experiences are you know, everybody has those kinds of experiences, and especially young queer people.
Yeah, definitely. This record, I think the sound of the band has changed a lot too. I think from the last record, you feel like there was a decided effort to sort of change the sound, or it was just fairly organic?
Yeah. We decided on making a brighter album, that
more rhythmic, maybe.
More rhythmic. Like, we wanted it to be able to be like mixed into a DJ set. Like, the first album is like darker. I'd say like much more like a noise rock album. Where this one, going into it, it's like still a lot of noise, no synths, but just like all the like in the club idiom, maybe.
I always thought that bands like My Bloody Valentine are highly underrated, and now they're getting a lot of appreciation with bands like Radiohead and everything.
Yeah.
But, were you a fan of My Bloody Valentine?
I'm an admirer.
Yeah. In terms of like the record, tell me what the Pirouette means to you. This is the title of the record.
To me, it represents like something that looks so graceful, or is executed in the effort of looking graceful, when it actually requires a lot of strength and discipline, and it is beautiful, but teetering at, on point, like a ballerina. It's, dangerous and disorienting as a ballerina, because you're turning. It means a lot of things, but that's kind of the gist.
I think NPR called you guys the best live show in the world or something, which is a pretty incredible. I mean, tell me about the live show, and if people come to a show of Model Actriz, like what they can expect.
To sweat.
Because it really is a lot about the live experience with the band, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say come expecting loose, light clothing. Come off book, know the words. Come if you don't want to interact with me, go towards the perimeter of the room.
Because you'll hop in the pit and just...
I always do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good about, reading if someone wants me, if they're inviting an interaction or not. But even at Warsaw the other night, there's a girl cowering on the barricade. I was like, what did you expect was going to happen here? I avoided her, but I was just like,
Do you ever get nervous, like jumping in?
My vibe.
I would say, if you get nervous, like jumping in and then people don't catch you. Has that
Oh,
ever happened?
I don't do that because I'm a tall guy.
Right, because it could happen and that could be bad.
That would be inviting an experience that would probably make me a little bit, give me body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
But sometimes if I try to reach for someone's hand, and I like lean too far, they will pick me up. And in those situations, I just kind of direct where I want them to take me.
No question.
Yeah.
Let's talk about working with Miley Cyrus on
Okay.
Prelude, and how was that for you? Probably an incredible experience, I would imagine, right?
Oh, it was so easy. I mean, she really was just wanting me to write as myself. I mean, I was like having fun writing it because I think when it comes out of her mouth and the scale of the projects she works on, like the kind of statements that she can make, I just felt could be broader and more sweeping, like almost like to a mythological degree. And I was aware of like what the film was like going to look like and feel like, and like what the rest of the music sounded like. So I didn't know initially that was going to be the opening. There were other like interludes, and the film went through a few different iterations, but kind of the image of like Mufasa's ghost coming out of the sky in The Lion King. That was like, I wanted to go to a place like that.
Now, do you work with her in a room, or do you send her a track? Is it all done remotely?
For that, it was the writing was, me in New York and she was in LA.
Okay.
But she invited me over to show me, it was like all the demos. She was playing like accompanying kind of like videos as like a mood board.
Sure.
Yeah. And we just, so if the songs didn't have like a vocal, like she would just sing it, and just really like held my hand through the album, So I felt like I was, still very much so like working with her. It didn't feel like remote, I felt like very much so
In it,
yes.
Do you have a dream collaborator? Would it be Gaga? Would it be other ones? Would it be Janet Jackson? Would it be Rush?
Bjork would be one.
Rush would be good.
Rush would be good. Well, yes. Rest in peace, Neil Peart.
Yeah, great job. But Bjork would be cool.
Yeah, Bjork would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, for something like this, even with the Miley thing, do you get a call from like her manager, who actually manages Courtney Love, so I know him very well.
Oh, really?
But does JD call you, or does someone reach out to your management, or like how does that work? Like,
she'll text me.
She'll text you and just say, "Hey, I love what you're doing. I'd love to work with you." But other dream collaborators, like someone like Bjork, do you kind of put it out there in the world and just hope that it will come back to you?
You gotta like catch the right northern wind to like find Bjork.
Literally.
I feel like, yes. Yeah, I feel like her phone is made of wood.
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that's reached out to you that you were surprised at about collaborating? Like, that would be interesting, but I don't know if that's the right fit. Or are there people that
we're very open to collaborations, whoever's listening to this. Am I surprised?
And is it something you want to do more of?
Yeah, if it's the right thing,
Yeah.
totally.
Definitely.
Totally.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, when I'm done touring this Pirouette, I would love to get into acting again. Yes.
That'd be great.
So something even non-musical.
I could see that.
collaborations. Yeah.
You're touring, actually, you're heading out in November overseas. Where are you excited to perform?
Per our track Diva, haven't performed, which, I dropped Copenhagen and Amsterdam in the lyrics.
Yeah.
Haven't played it there yet. So excited to do that. And
Where's the best place you've ever performed? Is it Primavera for you?
Oh, that's up there.
Yeah.
Primavera Off Festival in Poland.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would, some more Eastern European dates I would like to do because that was our show in Prague also was amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people compare your style to like Grace Jones and Gaga. Do you feel a connection?
High praise. Yes.
Do you feel a connection with Grace Jones?
I could only just hope to be, a tenth of the amount of see you next Tuesday as they are.
What's the craziest sort of out of control moments in the shows have gotten so far? Because it is about the live shows, I think, and experiencing the band live.
What are the most out of control?
Yeah, like because you said you're really in it with the audience, and you're, because it is very theatrical.
Something literally. I mean, out of control and like a. Okay, because there have been moments where I've lost control. That's a rogue audience.
Well, I mean, I'd even like to know that because that's interesting.
Yes, because I trust. Have to place a lot of trust into the audience with my cable because I don't use a wireless mic.
Just because it doesn't feel authentic to you.
The audience participation, like 99% of the time, is what helps unify the room. If they're holding the cable, that also lets you know where I am. I've used a wireless mic before, and it's like I'm scaring people left and right because they don't know where I am.
Right. You just show up behind them or something.
Right, yeah. And it's just, literally for them to turn around. It's like with the mic cable, everyone's able to like, I don't like singing to the back of someone's head.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So any crazy moments where the show kind of got out of control? It could, like you said, it could have gone either way for you. You personally or the audience. Just
Yeah. I mean, one time there was like a technical difficulty. This was in Manchester. Someone's like water bottle had like been poured directly into a power socket, and the power was off for like so long. The only mics that were working were the drum mics, so we were playing podcasts like into the drum mic, and then after like 10 minutes of doing that, I was just like, whoever wants to have a cigarette can go get a cigarette, and then I'll come out and get you later. But
any particular podcast you were playing?
It was Democracy Now.
Okay.
Yes.
Very important.
Which that is just reaching. If it's for the gays, for the straights, it's for everyone. Yeah.
So that's the craziest moment. I know it's a pretty wild thing.
I just can't think of crazier moments. I used to climb a lot on stuff. We played this show in Berlin very early on. Like, just this guy messaged our band camp, and we happened to be just in Europe at the time, like hanging out. And he invited us to Berlin to play a show. We get there, the venue had been turned into a tattoo parlor that day, so it was under construction. So we went to like a lockout space across the road. We had to like wake the guy up, pay him €50, and then 2 people came to the show, but they missed our first song. So then at the end of our like 20-minute set, the promoter made us play the first song again. But I was just so I was so over it and wanting it to be. I was just, this guy invited us to Berlin to play a private show for him, basically, where we had to pay to open up the venue. And
did you get a tattoo? That's what I need to know.
I don't have any tattoos.
Okay.
And it was under construction. We could not get a tattoo at that point. But I'm sure that some tattoos were gotten on that trip.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We do these really fun things at the end of the show, the top 5 lists. So we talk about, we just spoke about Gaga and Grace Jones. I wanted to ask you your top 5 front men or front women of all time, according to you. I mean, we have spoken about some of them, but this is your list.
All right.
So I don't want to put any ideas into your head. We'll start with number 5.
Number 5? Oh my God, it's in order? Oh God.
Well, it can be in no particular order too, but everyone does it their own way. So.
I would say Gwen Stefani and No Doubt.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah.
This is gonna.
And what is it about Gwen Stefani as an example? Like, what is it about?
What is it about her?
And No Doubt.
Oh God.
Like early Gwen Stefani.
I think just like just in No Doubt.
No Doubt.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna try and like not do just pop stars.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. I think she is what makes No Doubt special, especially in the early No Doubt stuff, where it's like very much so like ska, feeling. And I just like am obsessed with singers who sound like themselves and only themselves. You would never, like Gwen Stefani could not go on American Idol.
Right.
I'm afraid.
She could judge it, could she?
She could judge it because I think she is a very talented singer, but she's not someone who can sing everyone else's songs. And people who sing Gwen Stefani songs, her presence on all of those songs, I feel like still looms over the song. Like, it's like, unlike a song like, Whitney Houston is the only person who could maybe eclipse Dolly Parton.
Right.
It's something like that.
Definitely. So now we're on number 4.
Number 4. Well, maybe I'll just stick with pop stars in their, previous projects. But,
Sure.
Maybe
that works
if we can go Bjork and the Sugar Cubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Like shorter tenure of the band. But I think
she has a wooden phone. Is that what you said?
She has a wooden phone, yes. I think just also, she is like such an acrobatic singer too. And she's a punk. And like that's how I feel with Gwen too. It's like, and their styles are so just like singular to them. I don't really know the Sugar Cubes music that well. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, that's all right. It's your list.
Yeah, zero research done for this list.
It's okay.
Number 3. Moving on.
And again, there's a couple we've already mentioned, but it's your list, so I don't want to put those ideas in.
Who did I say?
Well, we spoke about Grace Jones, Gaga.
Right.
But
Grace
again,
Jones wasn't. I mean, well, I'll say. I mean, I'm trying to think though if there's like a wild card that I'm like not thinking of right now, because I'm thinking of like everything I've ever listened to in my life.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many choices.
Yeah, and I think I need you need to give one to a guy. Maybe like I need to throw a gay guy in here. So like Fred Schneider from the B-52s.
Cool. Yeah. Underrated.
Yes. Underrated.
Yeah.
Yes. And just also, like the best pop music to me, which I feel like we're lacking a little bit right now on these charts, is as I said, songs that can only be sung by one person.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else can sing Fred Schneider songs.
No, exactly. You can't sing Love Shack without doing an impression of Fred Schneider.
Right.
Yeah.
And also when the B-52s came out, there was nothing else like it. I mean, it really just, it was so eclectic, but the songs were so great. And the first couple records were so great.
I thought of another gay guy. Jake Shears, Scissor Sisters.
Yeah, great.
Yes.
Is that number 2?
That's number 2.
Number 2.
Yes. And we got to give a tie for first to Grace Jones and Lady Gaga.
And why so? Just
why? I feel there's that article where Grace Jones said, and I don't know if this is real or not, and I disagree with her assessment here, where she says, I met Lady Gaga and I didn't feel like there was a soul. So I'm not feeling like they actually would want to be in the same room together.
So it's a tie.
And like me and Gaga, we love Grace, and Grace is just on her own.
Yeah.
But just because I can't decide.
It's a good list.
Yes.
And again, a lot of people assume Model Actress is from New York, but you're not from New York. But do you have a top 5 list of like bands or artists from New York that you love? your favorite?
Don't do this to me.
Well, there's no favorites, but I mean, just
I'm
friends
with so many bands, and
I feel like also because people equate the band with Brooklyn, and I feel like everyone in Brooklyn is in a band. So you
Yes.
must be friends with a million people that are in bands.
yes, more than 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay because I did my top 5 people that were here to save rock and roll, and I think I named 8. So people are like, "Is this your list of 20 or 5 or what is it?"
Yeah, yeah, it would be like there.
We can do ties. You know, ties.
We can do ties.
Ties come up too. You know. And it could be old or new. It could be of all time, or it could be brand new bands. Just
Okay.
Your top 5 New York City bands of all time.
Okay, Scissor Sisters.
Old or new. Number 5. And again, why?
Why? I don't know about if this is ranked, but why? It would be like for the personal significance to me. It's like their album Nightwork was like the first time that I heard like a gay narrative. I know it's not their first album, but it was my introduction to them. And I was like 14 when it came out. So that's around the time I was coming to terms with that. And I just saw them play at Calorama in Lisbon.
Amazing.
Their first festival show in 12 years.
Right, because they haven't been together in years, right?
Yeah. So I was they told me I was side stage for this, which was crazy enough to me that I was like their first show in 12 years and I'm actually on stage watching it. But I was bawling my eyes out to the point that a security guard told me to like back up because it was probably 2 in the light that their whole like probably first 3 rows of people just saw just me crying. To a show that is like exuberant and joyous, just me crying like a withering like heap of tears, just you know, because it meant so much to me. But he was just like, "You're killing the vibe, kid." But
stand back.
Yes, exactly. And I was mortified thinking that like Jake went off stage to get changed and told whoever on his team, being like, "I noticed they're a crazy person off stage. You have to remove them." But they didn't kick me out. They just made me walk back.
Amazing. So number 4.
Number 4.
Again, you have a lot of friends in bands, so
yes,
it's a tough list.
Even if some of my friends inevitably won't make the cut, and it's not because I don't love their.
Well, we could do honorable mentions. Yes. This is your list.
Yes. Well, band just put out an album. It's a Beautiful Place. Water from Your Eyes. Yeah.
You know them?
I mean, those are my homies, and I think just like they were one of the bands on the Primavera bill.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
It's just always a treat to be on the road, like in their orbit. And I think Rachel, who writes the lyrics and is the vocalist, they directed our music video for Diva also. But they're I think just the poetry on the album is beautiful, and I think I like things that feel like giant collages too. And Water from Your Eyes always feels like, you know, the music could be called angular, but it feels angular to me in the sense that it like feels like cut up paper from a million different places.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There is a great scene of music coming out of Brooklyn. I mean, for whatever it is, whatever it's worth, everyone is in a band in Brooklyn, but there also are great artists coming out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Number 3.
Frost Children.
Another band with a huge buzz.
Yes.
Yeah. Having a moment.
You know, they are superstars, and also I mean, they're like the nicest people. But I think I'm like thinking about the Pitchfork review of their first, or it's not their first album, but of Speed Run. I think sometimes they get like misrepresented as being insincere, but really there's so much heart and everything that they make. and especially just the bond of them as siblings.
Yeah.
Like
Giant brother and
that's
sister.
what I feel in the
Yeah.
music. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
What else?
Well, there's,
How
the
many
bands that we, there's bands from
I'm trying to, yeah, I'm just
yesteryear
like,
too we could get
right.
into, but that's all kind of,
Yeah.
again, your list. It could be all new bands. Right?
Yeah,
It could
the
be
band of the original cast recording of Cats the Musical from 1981.
the band and the orchestra.
No. Trying to think of more. Well, I mean, the B-52s are from here, right? Were they
That's a good
CBGB's
question.
band?
I think
so.
they played there, but I don't know if they're technically from New York.
Which
I
just
think we'd have
opened
to-
up. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm a David Byrne fan, so like the Talking Heads.
yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Talking Heads.
Yes. And
So we'll put the Talking Heads in number 2.
yes, that was also like around the time that I saw Lady Gaga was I saw David Byrne and St. Vincent, that tour.
Amazing.
Also. So that show also, like in the theater, I forget, it was at the Tower Theater outside of Philadelphia. But just the staging of that show was like the first time that I had seen a non-arena show do theatrics.
Yeah.
So that was influential to me.
And the Talking Heads were so influential on so many bands. And I think they're
Yes.
finally getting a lot of the credit they deserve for that.
Was that 4?
That's far. We're on the last one, the number 1 New York City band of all time.
Laurie Anderson.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Laurie Anderson's. She's like an.
She's an enigma.
She's an opera diva who doesn't sing.
Yeah.
Like it's, and just the way she talks is yeah. I mean, I forget what was the show. It was the album. It's like from 2014, but that was the first album that I ever heard. And
Were you also a Lou Reed fan, Velvet Underground fan?
I'm an admirer.
Yeah.
Yes. But I would be, yeah, if they were my parents and I had to choose one in the divorce to live with, I would pick Laurie, probably. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, the band's on tour coming up November, all in Europe. Great new record. Not that new at this point, but great record. Exciting times for you. Coachella is a big deal, so I'm excited to
Come
be
see
at that
us.
show for sure. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Thank
This
you
was
so
fun.
much. No,
This
that
fun.
was, besides the anxiety-inducing top 5 questions.
I appreciate it. Thank you
Great.
for coming in.
No,
Appreciate
thank you so much. I had
Appreciate
fun.
it. Thanks so much.